Every businessman or every shopkeeper has a very clear idea about profit and loss. Profit and loss is one of the most important topics in middle school math. Hi everyone, my name is Shraddha. Welcome to Eazeemath and let's get started and learn more about profit and loss. Let's understand the terms that are involved in profit and loss. So anyone who buys an item for a specific price is called as the cost price because that is the cost he had to pay to buy that item. When the same person is selling that item, that is called as a selling price or SP. Now, the value of the cost price and selling price decide whether the person when sold was in profit or in loss. By profit, we mean that the selling price was higher than the cost price and that is why he got a profit out of it. By loss, we mean that the selling price was lower than the cost price. So the price at which he bought the item, he had to sell at a lower price and that is why he had a loss. So when a person buys at a lower price and sells at a higher price, then he gets a profit out of it. Let's say I go and buy a football for $40. Once I have bought, I sell the same football for $50. Now here my cost price is 40 and selling price is 50, and since the selling price is higher than the cost price, that is why I was in a profit. And how much was the profit? The difference between the selling price and the cost price is my profit. So the profit here is 50 minus 40, which is $10. Let's say I bought a phone for $500. But when I went to sell it, now since it was a second-hand phone, the phone only went for $300. I could only sell the phone for $300. So the $300 is the selling price and the cost price here is $500. And since my selling price is lower than the cost price, I had to incur a loss. And how much was the loss? So the loss here would be cost price minus the selling price, which will be 500 minus 300, which will be $200. Now let's move on to how much would be the profit percentage and loss percentage. The formula for finding the profit percentage is the profit upon the cost price times 100. Let's say I bought a mug for $10 and I sold the mug for $15. So here my profit percentage will be profit, which is 15. The selling price here becomes 15 and the cost price here becomes 10. So the profit will be selling price minus the cost price, which is 10, divided by the cost price, which is 10 again, times 100. So 0 and 0 gets cancelled here. 15 minus 10 is 5 times 10 here gives me 50% is my answer. So on the mug I bought, I got a 50% of profit, and that's a big profit. Now let's understand loss percentage. Loss percentage is the amount of loss upon the cost price times 100. Remember, the denominator will always remain the cost price and not the selling price. So let's say I bought a car for $4,000 and I had to sell the same car for $2,000. So when I bought it, this was my cost price and this was my selling price. So the loss percentage here would be the cost price minus the selling price, which is 2,000, divided by the cost price, which is 4,000, times 100. Now 4,000 minus 2,000 is 2,000, divided by 4,000 times 100. Now I cancel the zeros. 2 divided by 4 is 2, and again my answer is 50%. So when I bought a car for $4,000 and sold for $2,000, I had a loss of 50%. Let's do some more examples to understand better. Example number 1. Here my selling price is higher than the cost price. Therefore, I will have some profit, and that percentage can be calculated as selling price minus the cost price, which is 500 minus 400 gives me 100, divided by the cost price times 100. Now the zeros and zeros gone. 100 divided by 4 is 25 So here my profit percentage is 25%. Again, here my selling price is lower than my cost price and therefore there is a loss. And what is the loss percentage here? The loss percentage is cost price minus the selling price, which is 200, divided by the cost price, which is 500, times 100. Let's calculate this. The zeros are gone. It will be 200 over 5, and 200 over 5 will give me a 40% loss. I hope these examples made your idea about profit and loss a bit clear. Let me give you a few questions so that your understanding becomes even better. I want you to pause this video here and try these questions by yourself. You can use these formulas to calculate either the profit and the loss. I hope you are done with the questions. Do mention your answers in the comments. I hope this video about profit and loss made your idea about the profit and loss percentage a bit clear. Thanks for watching. Happy learning. Wish you the best.